All right, everybody. It is Monday night. It is a little after 7. We had some technical difficulties, but it is rush hour. And I am so excited because tonight I have a special guest, and it is my co host from Third and Three podcast, Damian Adams, is in the house tonight. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, D? Thanks for popping in tonight, helping me
Uh,
co host.
yeah, it's no problem at all. Whenever you need me, I'm here, Nikki.
I know, I know. You're the best. First things first, of course, Rush Hour and the Giants, guys, is brought to you by Astro Flav. Lean, mean, clean protein for you guys. No chemicals, none of that nasty stuff that doesn't make your stomach feel good. So they got protein, collagen, fat burners, everything to supplement your fitness and wellness lifestyle. What's up, Chris? Thanks for, oh, that's right. TCU Georgia is tonight. All right, let's talk about it. Let's just jump in. Who do you got tonight?
I gotta go with Georgia in
Yeah.
that game. I think the talent level for Georgia is just too much for TCU. It's a great story that
Yeah.
TCU was able to make it this far to the championship game, but Georgia, they got NFL players everywhere. So I think just the overwhelming amount of talent on Georgia is going to take over tonight. Hopefully, it's a better game than I expect, but I'm not expecting that much.
All right. I know we jumped ahead a little bit. D, why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you do, where we can find you, and then we will jump into around the NFL.
Okay, yeah. So I am Damian Adams. You can find me on all social media platforms at the Real Deal WDA. And if you follow me on social media, you'll get videos constantly of me doing different reactions to whatever's going on in football, basketball, or boxing. Today, I made some wrinkles and some people upset about my reaction to Lovie Smith being fired. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about that here pretty soon. So you want to get videos like that, me reacting to different boxing matches, what's going on in the NBA, go ahead and follow me on social media. I do a few different podcasts. My podcast that started out this whole thing off is The Real Deal with Damian Adams. You can catch that each and every week. Just go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. The Third and Three podcast I do along with Nikki, Jess, and Jason Fearman every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time live on Facebook. Can't catch us live? Subscribe on any podcast platform. And I also host a GSMC boxing podcast for my fight fans out there.
Is that all? Anything else? I thought that I did a lot, but I guess not. All right. Well, what did you think about Lovie Smith being fired? I think we differ here. So that's actually shocking because if you do watch Third and Three, usually you and I agree.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I was upset by it. I felt like Lovie Smith didn't get a fair shot. So going into this season, there was one thing that every NFL content creator, every NFL podcaster, everybody who works in sports media who covers the NFL got right. We all knew Houston was going to suck.
Yeah.
We all got that correct. Like no one got that wrong. No one really had any different opinions about it. We all knew Houston didn't have enough talent to win.
Yeah.
So when they hired Lovie Smith, we're like, okay, you're hiring this guy who has NFL experience and has had, success as an NFL head coach to come in and build a winning culture. So going into this year, you're like, okay, let's see if that happens. And I feel like he accomplished that mission, especially when you look at the last few weeks of the season.
Yeah.
They pushed Dallas to the brink. Dallas had to orchestrate a 98-yard drive at the end of the game to win that one. They pushed the Chiefs to overtime. They win 2 out of their last 3 games, and then Lovie Smith gets fired. And for me, I just don't get it. What did the Texans expect this year, right? Because usually a coach is fired when they don't meet expectations or it's clear that they're in over their head. Like Nathaniel Hackett this year was clearly in over his head, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Lovie Smith, you know that he can handle being a head coach. He's done it before. So it's not that. And he didn't go below expectations because expectations couldn't be any lower for Houston. So for me, how can you fire this guy when all he did was build a winning culture with a team that didn't have enough talent to win? You have a bottom 5 quarterback and you have a few specks of talent here and there. Damian Pierce, Brandon Cooks, Derek Stingley Jr. You have a few specks of talent here and there, but overall as a roster, you're very lacking when it comes to talent. So why would Lovie Smith suffer being fired when all he did was his job? And this team kept playing, kept fighting. Most times we have teams that are this bad, they stop fighting after a while.
Yeah.
and you see it on the field. This team continued to fight and continue to play all throughout the year. So I don't understand how he got fired.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I thought you were going to differ a little bit because some people were like, well, he's not that good of a coach. And I'm like, I think he is a good coach. He's a great defensive minded coach as well. What I don't get, especially about organizations like the Texans, right? Why is it always a one and done coach? What do you actually expect is going to happen? At some point, you need some continuity, you need some consistency. And that franchise, with along with all the other franchises that are horrible, you're you're not like a quarterback away. You are many, many pieces of the puzzle away. So I don't know what you think like cycling through these coaches every year is going to do for you, right? It's very Browns-esque. Like they can't get it right either. They've got new coaches, new quarterbacks every single year. So I feel bad for Lovie Smith. I hope he gets a shot somewhere else if he wants it, but I feel like he should have got at least one more year.
Yeah, no, the thing is, going into this year, it should have been understood that this is a many year project. This isn't
Yes.
a quick turnaround type thing. And for me, you don't want to, for me, I try my best not to bring race into things because you want to keep it light, right? You want
Yeah.
to keep it fun. But it's hard to ignore that your last two coaches that were one and done were both black men, right? And when it comes to NFL, they have an issue when it comes to hiring minority coaches at a good rate. Now,
Mhm.
Houston, what they're going to be able to say is, oh, our last two coaches were black. Now, were those opportunities genuine? No, they weren't. David Culley had no shot, right? And if you thought that David Culley just wasn't a head coach and was a lifetime assistant and you hired the wrong guy, cool. Lovie Smith, we know, is a head coach. We know he's a good head coach with success behind him, and this team played over their talent abilities at the end of the year. So when a coach does that, that's what the coach is there for. So again, Houston is a trash organization. Let's just call it like it is. They're a trash
They are.
organization, and for them to be able to get a good head coach, they're going to have to quote unquote overpay by a lot to get one of those top head coaches they want. Because if I'm a top head coach who has options, I'm running so far away from Houston. Why would
Yeah.
I want to be there? Like, why would I want this opportunity if I have choices? Now, there's only 32 jobs like this. So, of
Mhm.
course, they're going to get somebody. But if a Sean Payton or whoever else is out there that may be looking for a job, they're not looking at Houston because Houston has treated their last two coaches like trash. And why would I want to even put myself towards that? So Houston, I think, is going to get what they deserve and get stuck where they're not going to be able to get one of those head coaches that they want, or maybe they already have a guy in mind. And this was just a 2-year period to get to that guy. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense at all the way they're trying to run his organization. And I don't see how they improve from here going forward. Now, do you think he got fired because they no longer have the number one overall pick?
I mean, what that would just be stupid. No?
Yeah. It would seem to be dumb because
Like
the reason you play, hello, Herm Edwards, the reason you play is to win the
win the
game.
game. You play to
Yeah.
win. You don't play to lose. Like I
Yeah.
I never understood that mentality, and I don't understand the fans who have this mentality either, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, tank. I get it. Let's say you've won one or two games, and at that point you're like, well, I just want to tank. Fine, I understand that, but I just can't root for losing. I don't get these
Yes.
fans who root for losing. How do you do that? I'll never watch a Giants game and be like, I hope they lose today.
Yeah.
I
That's the
just
thing. So once I get to that point, I'm no longer watching the team, right? I'm a Saints
yeah.
fan for you guys who don't know. And the Saints, because our division was horrible, we were in contention all year, right? But towards the end, I'm like, okay, we just need to learn our lesson. We don't need to get into the
Yeah.
playoffs and do these things. But I wasn't rooting for us to lose. If we happen to get there, okay, cool. But I just need us to understand how bad we were this year. Now, when it comes to the Texans, you already know that. So now you're just looking for some things to be positive to look forward to next year. And you're like, okay, we can build on Damian Pierce in that running game. We can build on maybe some players on the defense. And that's what you're looking forward to with Lovie Smith. And Lovie Smith's got messed over before. When he was in Tampa Bay, they didn't
Yep.
have talent. Like he first got
No.
there, their quarterback was Mike Glennon. Let's like so you talk about the fact they went from Mike Glennon and then a rookie Jameis, and then he
Yeah.
got fired. Like I just don't understand the lack of real opportunities for coaches like him who have went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman and Kyle Orton at quarterback. Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
you do that, you should have a lifetime job in the NFL when you're able to accomplish that, right? Because both of those quarterbacks, neither one of those quarterbacks could even get to Ohio, let alone Canton. So when you talk about making it to the Super Bowl with those guys and having success, and the thing is, he got fired in Chicago after a 10-6 season. It wasn't like they just went super downhill. They went 10-6 and barely missed the playoffs back when there were 6 playoff teams. You go 10-6 now, you're going to make it in. Yeah. So the thing is, to go 10-6 and miss the playoffs barely, get fired, and then get messed over in your other 2 pro opportunities, I just don't get why he got treated this way. Now, of course, financially, he's good. That's another whole point to this that we could talk about. That's how much money the NFL is making. The Texans, who are a trash organization, can just fire coaches and pay them for years on end. David Culley's still getting paid. Lovie Smith's still going to be getting paid, and they got to hire a new guy. And that's the money the NFL is making, to where trash organizations can work like this. So there needs to be something to where these organizations can be held accountable. And just because you're making this crazy amount of money, you can't just be firing people after 1 year when we all knew this team was going to suck. We all knew it.
Yeah, no, we knew it. And, I don't know how you're going to attract any new talent there. Now, speaking of coaches, what is the deal with Sean Payton? We have the resident Saints fan in the house. Now, I did say on 3rd and 3 a couple weeks ago, the rumor was Sean Payton, Tom Brady might follow him back to New Orleans. I mean, I'm pretty sure I got laughed at, but now it seems like that rumor, there might be a little bit of truth to it. So where's Sean Payton end up?
Wow. I would love to see him back with the Saints. I do not want Tom Brady, though. I do not want Tom Brady at this point in his career. Like, if we would have got Tom Brady at, 38, cool. I don't want him at 45. He's amazing, and he's, beaten Father Time. First person to do it. Him. I think LeBron's been another one that we consider that beat Father Time. But why would I want that when we can go get a young quarterback in the draft, or even one of these younger free agents like a Geno or Derek Carr, someone like that? And I would love to have Sean Payton back. This year, we definitely realized how important it is to have a coach like that. So for the people out there who are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, who are like, the Steelers haven't been really good lately, we should fire Mike Tomlin. Do not do that. Do not be careful what you wish for, right? You have a Hall of Fame head coach. Hold on to that head coach as long as possible. And the thing is, the Saints didn't want to, let go of Sean Payton. Sean Payton was burnt out, needed a break. And you understand that. He was our coach for 15 years. He probably got to a point where he was burnt out. So now that he's ready to get back, I would love to have him back. Dennis Allen did a horrible job this year. Oof. And it's so crazy that he's a defensive coordinator, and our defense was great the second half of the season. But we still sucked because our offense was horrible. And he decided to stick with Andy Dalton, of all people. And it's like, why are you doing that? And our offense there was no improvement throughout the year for our offense. Usually you see some type of improvement. There was none for the Saints. So I think because of that, and because of his decision making, Dennis Allen, if he's welcome to it, go back to be a defensive coordinator. We bring Sean Payton in. We're not taking on Tom Brady. If I can help it, we're not taking on Tom Brady.
Is Tom Brady done after this year?
No, I think he's going to play. I think he wants to continue playing. At this point, I think he has to play at least one more year just to make himself feel better that he didn't end, his marriage and didn't blow up his personal life just for this season. Yeah. Especially if they go out there and lose on Monday night. But for him, it seems like he's a guy who doesn't know what to do without football, right? And he's going to play as long as he can. And hopefully, he's out there and he's, having a good time. It's not just out of not knowing what to do. But he's crazy. Like, you have to be crazy to play football this long. Like, it's not like basketball or baseball or some of these other sports where it doesn't hurt as much. Even if at quarterback, you're still waking up sore every day. Like, you're waking up sore, like, especially with somebody 45 years old. I don't care how much avocado ice cream and how much all this other stuff you're doing.
At 45, shit. Yeah.
At 45, you're still hurting every day when you play this sport. So he has a different type of dedication. That's why he is who he is, because of that dedication and because of that single-mindedness. So I think he'll play one more year. I do think he'll try to follow Sean Payton somewhere. I know that people have mentioned Denver, but Denver can't get out of Russell Wilson's contract. Right. I think Russell Wilson, I don't think is washed. I think this was a bad year.
Yeah.
And I think we saw some signs. Like, he made some incredible plays on Sunday. I think we saw some signs that he still has it. So for Tom Brady, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Maybe the Jets, for people in New York, maybe that can happen.
Tom Brady to the Jets? Is that what you just said?
Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
because
I mean, I
the
don't know.
Jets have everything but an offense, right? Like that defense is amazing. Garrett Wilson is amazing. They got good running backs, and then you see that offense just sputter. Joe, that game on Sunday with Miami, oh my God, that
Oh,
just a horrible display of football.
yeah.
Horrible display of football. So the Jets need a quarterback. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the
Raiders
Raiders.
are going to need a quarter. Maybe the Packers are going to need a
Ooh.
quarterback.
Oh, spicy right there. So
Yeah.
you thinking Aaron Rodgers is done?
God, please, like, just be done already. Like, I don't understand it. And again, yesterday with his cryptic, like, what did he say? Maybe it's time to get off the carousel or something. Get off the carousel already. Get off. Put your ticket away. Throw it out. Put it in the trash. I don't know. Get off the carousel. Go host Jeopardy. Go do something. But again, here we go. We're gonna have to go through an entire off season of Aaron Rodgers being cryptic. Like, again, we do this every year, do we not? And
Yeah,
I
no,
complain about it every single year.
yes, you have complained about it every single year. And
Yes.
it's funny how history repeats itself because we went through this now, what it's been 15 years ago now with Brett Favre when
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers first came in. Now he's doing the same thing with Jordan Love. Now, of
Yeah.
course, Jordan Love doesn't look as promising as Aaron Rodgers did, but he's still doing the same thing to him. And you wonder if the Packers are going to make that move where they're like, okay, it's time for us to move on. But he's still owed a lot on that contract. That's why it didn't make sense to sign him to that big extension because how can he get out of it without just setting their team up for doom for future because of the cap implications and all that stuff. So I think he's still going to be a Green Bay Packer next year. I don't think he's walking away from. I think he's set to make like 53 million next year. I don't think he's walking away from that much money, especially he's another player who didn't have a great season, but you see still has those moments where you're like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He still has those incredible throws where you're like, nobody else can do this besides him and maybe, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, like those type of guys who have that incredible arm talent. So I think we'll still see Aaron Rodgers in that, that green and gold next year.
Oh, God. Okay, great. Anyway, speaking of bonuses, Kenny Galladay did not get his 75 catches for his $750,000 bonus, but you know what he did get yesterday? A freaking touchdown. That's right. Kenny Galladay, touchdown. That 50-50 ball that he said that's his thing. That's what he said in the summer. That's what he had to work on. Took 2 years, but okay, final game against the Eagles. Tutel, I think you went. You told us that you were going every week. I think he was telling us that he was there. So let us know. I know it was at Lincoln Financial. I know that's a tough place to be as a Giants fan. I know that the Eagles fans came at me fast and hard yesterday because I told them to calm down because they were beating up on the preseason team. So, like, calm down. Like, you still struggled against us, and we had like third stringers out there. I'm going to ask you, D, is Kenny Galladay a Giant next year?
Wow. I got to look at his contract. That's a big thing in the NFL. How
Just
these
remember
contracts.
who the audience here is, okay? Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I know it's a pro Giants audience that I'm speaking with right now, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to Kenny Galladay, like I think that he's on the team next year, like in training camp. And then it depends on how training camp is going. I can see them 2 weeks into training camp trying to look for a trade or then releasing him at that point, depending on how the structure of the contract is. If I know certain players have like roster bonuses if they're on the roster at a certain point and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So I have to look at his contract to see exactly how it works out. But if he doesn't have guaranteed money left, I think they should let him go. Just go ahead and just split ways, let him go somewhere else, and maybe he'll, thrive somewhere else and just be in a better situation. And maybe it's just toxic for you guys to be together. Some couples, they love each other, but they're not meant for each other. Like they're just toxic together. Like they argue too much, but they have this great love. But you guys need to just separate and go somewhere else. I think that's Kenny Galladay and the Giants right now.
Yeah, I agree. But, I'm not rooting for him to fail. Again, it goes back to what we opened the show with, of people rooting for teams and players to fail. I know if you follow me on social media and Twitter, I'm always making fun. I'm always having a good time with it. I'm harboring a little bit of a grudge towards him because I asked for personal interviews every single day I was there at training camp and I always got denied, but whatever. And then you proceed to do nothing. But okay. I don't want him to fail though. If this was the spark that he needed and has a massive game against the Vikings and we win and we get to see the Eagles again, like then maybe this is what he needed to get going in the playoffs. So I'm here for it, but if he can actually show up and play, that's the thing.
Well, yeah, if he shows up in the playoffs and balls out, then everything changes, right? Because then
Right.
you'll forget about all these other 2 seasons, these
Yeah.
32 or 34 games where he didn't perform well. You'll forget about all that. If he performs well in these playoffs, you guys make a deep run. Oh, then he's definitely on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Tuto, you got kicked out. So he kicked out of before the game started. Oh my God. Yeah. Lincoln Financial doesn't mess around. Like
Man,
that's,
You East Coast guys are crazy.
yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Lincoln politely escorted all of us except 36 guys who are not banned. Oh my God. All right. Well, they don't mess around over there at Lincoln Financial. It's a rough place to be. Cold is in the house. I am so excited for that. He has got to be the funniest like viewer that we have on Rush Hour and Giants guys. Like literally the funniest. I love him so much. I think the cap hit was 21.5 million. I think I could be wrong on that, but we'll see what Kenny Galladay will bring. But you know what this week brought? Miracles, right? Kenny Galladay catching a touchdown. And honestly, D, think about, and everybody who listens to a podcast, is on a podcast, is a content creator, think about where we were 1 week ago today. I was on Rush Hour with Spartan Mike, wrapping it up and then walking out to my kitchen to go eat dinner with the game on in the background. And I had no idea when I got off, none of us did, that 20 minutes later, the sports world would be turned upside down. And I know that it's been a rough week for everybody. I know that we process this all very differently. I want to give massive credit to the broadcast team on Monday night and specifically Lisa Salters, who I thought, handled it like the professional that she is. But I also felt it for us in the podcast community. It's so many people reach out and just ask like, hey, are you guys doing your show? How are you approaching this? And, we did. Giants guys, went live. We did what we could. I know a lot of our other friends ended up going live. We went live Wednesday night. So just kind of take me through where you were a week ago to where we are tonight.
Yeah, it hit me rough, man, because I was running around doing errands, watching the game on my phone, and I missed the initial play where it happened. And I text you and Jason in our 33 chat, like, oh, what happened? I missed the play, and then you sent it to me and I saw it. And I had never saw anything like that before, to see somebody do what we think of as a normal tackle and to get up, pop back up, and then just fall down. And to know that his life was in danger at that point is something that's super scary. And now that he's a week later, he's discharged from the hospital is absolutely amazing. And you just have to really thank, the Bills medical staff for reacting as fast and realizing what was going on as fast as they did. Of course, Cincinnati, the University of Cincinnati, their hospital staff as well for taking care of him and making sure that he progressed well. It just shows you the amazing work that we could do with medical technology. And I'm just glad to see him healthy, and the fact that he was tweeting during the game, like all of it just makes it's one of those few moments where we all came together, right? Because we do this sports podcast thing and sports content creator thing, and most of the times we're responding to people who are at our throats about something we said.
Oof.
But this one moment, everybody came together and everybody wanted the same goal of Damar Hamlin being okay. And I'm glad that we're getting to see that now. So it's going to be awesome for him. I'm pretty sure he'll probably be at the game when they play this weekend against Miami. And that'll just even give them a more charge to, go ahead and beat up a Miami team that honestly shouldn't be in the playoffs. So so it's going to be something that's going to be emotional for everybody. So I think that this whirlwind has really brought us to a good moment right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm watching Buffalo, New England yesterday, and as soon as they come out, right, run it back. I'm like, I even tweeted, I was like, oh my God, New England doesn't stand a chance. I feel it, all the emotion that had to be in that stadium, right? And I'm sorry, like, I'm sure so many of us teared up watching that game, and just, they were doing it for him. It was just an amazing incredible turnaround. And I know we weren't sure where we were going to be, but a week later, but here we are. And he did create shirts that said, "Did we win?" It is on his Twitter. No, I'm not getting paid to promote it, but the proceeds do go to University of Cincinnati Medical Center. And shout out to that team there, because I mean, shout out to everybody in the medical field, because you guys are the real heroes. I can never do that. I am CPR certified, but God, please don't I don't want to use it.
Yeah, I was CPR qualified. I believe mine has expired. So I probably need to go ahead and take that class again. But yeah, when I was in the military, we had to take a class and get CPR qualified and everything. But like you said, man, all that stuff is amazing. And it reminded me of when the Saints came back to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And they played their first game against Atlanta in the Superdome. And Atlanta had no shot. No shot in that game, because the energy in the Superdome, the famous the block punt by Steve Gleason, and from that point on, it was just a rout. Now, this one wasn't a rout. Credit to the Patriots. They did stay in this game. They made it entertaining, but I thought, like you, when Naeem Hines brought that back, I was like, oh, this is over. This is going to be 40-0. But credit to the Patriots. They fought for their playoff lives, and, unfortunately didn't come through. But, man, like you said, that energy and the fact that they have this energy now going forward, I think will help them a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially if we have a neutral site AFC Championship game. It's going to be very interesting.
So I guess that's my thing. Out of all of this that has happened, and of course, we're all beyond thrilled that Damar Hamlin is not only okay, expected, looks like probably going to make a recovery here. My thing is, so now that we can kind of like step back a little bit and play like, Monday morning quarterback when we probably shouldn't. I understand this was new for everybody. I understand the NFL. Nothing like this has quite happened before. But are we going to think about a contingency plan here? Because are we just going to what was the plan? Coin flip, add 8, it was all over the place. And I know everyone needed time to kind of figure that out. But as we've seen, anything can happen to anyone on any given day on that field. So what I hope comes out of it, and I hope they don't ever have to use it, is some sort of contingency plan. God forbid something like this ever happens again.
Yeah, I definitely think in the off season they will get together and come up with some type of plan for these type of events. Like you said, hopefully you don't have to do that. But because it's happened, like anything else in life, if something happens, we all get surprised by it, and then we think about, okay, if this happens again, how will we approach it the next time? And I don't know if there was any type of perfect answer for this, because you don't want to mess over Kansas City, because they had a great season, so you don't want to mess over them in the process. Buffalo, unfortunately, is not going to have to bye because of it, but you also still give them a shot to not have to go to Kansas City in that way. I understand where Cincinnati was coming from on this, but also what was the solution that they had in mind, right? Whenever somebody points out a problem, I always ask them, okay, I see the problem. What's the solution that you have in mind that can solve this? If you have a solution, please let me know. And Cincinnati, to my knowledge, didn't come up with anything better than what the NFL did.
No, they didn't. All right, who's in here? Oh, Mark, what's up? Glad you are with us. I know, Tuto, what? Nikki, I'm with my family and kids in Princeton and Jersey, about to take a flight in an hour to Germany, have 3 surgeries on my right shoulder, my entire left leg. All right, Tuto. Well, we hope that you are going to be well. That is massive surgery. But of course, all our love, prayers, and good vibes to you from the Rush family. All right, let's talk about it. Playoffs are set. Let's jump into it. All right, wild card round. Here we go. Saturday at 4:30, Seahawks and 49ers. I feel bad for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be pretty. I think this is a reason this game. Usually, this game has an AFC South team in it.
Yeah.
That first game on Saturday.
Yeah.
I used to call it the Houston Texans Invitational.
Yes.
They used to always the Houston Texans would always play in this game, and I was shocked that we didn't get the Jaguars this time around. But honestly, because usually they put what they think is gonna be the worst game here in this spot.
Yeah.
And you could say that this one could be really bad, but also Buffalo, Miami could be really ugly as well, depending on who plays quarterback for Miami. So it really depends. But yeah, like you said, Seattle, honestly, Detroit would be here if Baker Mayfield was a halfway decent quarterback. If Baker Mayfield, if Baker Mayfield was halfway decent, Detroit would be playing this game. It'd be a lot more interesting. If Detroit was in this game, I don't think they beat San Francisco, but it'll be a lot more interesting because they have so much firepower on offense. You're like, okay, maybe they can challenge that San Francisco defense a little bit. Seattle, I don't see them really challenging this defense at all.
No.
Geno's had a great year, but now you're starting to see the talent around him kind of deteriorate. And it's like, Geno can only do so much if the talent around him isn't good, right? He's a good quarterback, but he's not somebody who uplifts the talent. Put it that way. He needs the talent to be good around him to perform well. And the offensive line's been getting worse and worse. So I could see that San Francisco D line just eating. So what do you have the spread on this one?
I do. I just want to, Nikki, all my buddies want to know if you're going to be on Giants Rush tomorrow. Yes, it will be me and Spartan Mike tomorrow. Check it out. We do have a special interview that we are doing. And of course, Craig and his hair will be there because, we got good hair on this team. That's what we do.
You guys have good hair.
We do. We got good hair on this Rush team. All right. So 49ers are favored by 10. Over under is 42.5.
Okay. So yeah, I normally stay away from big point spreads because you just never know. But I feel like they're going to cover that 10 pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that first game is going to be one that we write home about or that we're tweeting about how it's a classic. I don't think that's going to happen in that first game.
Yeah, no. In fact, I would take the 49ers all day on that one. And usually we're not betting spreads that big, but let's move to Saturday night's game, Chargers and Jaguars, which I think is going to be a sneaky good game because I feel like the Jags are charged up. I never usually can get the word play in there. But I did this time. I feel like they are fired up, and I think they're going to give the Chargers a run for their money.
I'm with you. I think this is going to be a very good game. The Chargers, unfortunately, did suffer another injury in the last game. I think Mike Williams is going to be out. But this game here, man, you think about just the contrasting styles that they have, but they do have similar quarterbacks when it comes to the style in which they throw their passes and the passes they do make. But Justin Herbert seems to be more consistent at this point of his career than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, he can be very good at times. On Saturday, we saw a very bad Trevor Lawrence. That defense won that game. Trevor Lawrence he was just there, honestly. He missed a lot of throws that a quarterback of his caliber should make. So if the Jaguars want to have a chance, he has to make those same throws that he missed against Tennessee. He has to make against LA. If he misses those throws, LA is going to win. And some people are going to point to the fact that earlier this year they played against each other and Jacksonville destroyed LA. And it's funny because we went through so many ebbs and flows during the season. At that point, we thought, oh my God, Jacksonville, this team's going to be amazing. Yeah. They're going to run away with the AFC South. And then they went through a low period and it seemed like Tennessee was going to run away with it. Then it flipped and they came back to the top of it. But that division is just nuts in its own right. And the Chargers, we thought, oh, the injuries are too much. You got Herbert with the broken ribs and cartilage. Yeah. There's no way they're going to turn this around, and they have made the playoffs as well. So it just shows you how long the season is and how much happens during the season with these two teams. But I think that for this matchup, this is a tough one. I know it's a close spread. I think that
it's one.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah. So this is one that everybody thinks is going to be a close game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go Chargers in a close one.
Yeah. Over under is 47.5.
47. Yeah. The thing is, Jacksonville's defense
I'm going to go
can be very good as well. Yeah. I'm going to go under because Jacksonville's defense can be good. And the Chargers defense has improved throughout the year, right? Yes. Now, Jacksonville will be able to run the ball. So if there's like a player prop for Travis Etienne, I'll probably take the over on his rushing yards.
Yeah.
But man, this is a really good game. I got to think about it some more and really analyze and break it down.
Yeah.
But I'm going Chargers in a close one, but I do agree on the under 47.
Yeah, I'm going to go under there. If you did follow the 3rd and 3 parlay, we didn't hit.
Yeah, Jacksonville. The game shouldn't have been that close.
Jacksonville, come on.
Yeah, the game shouldn't have been that close. Trevor Lawrence makes the throws that he's supposed to make. They win by more than 6.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Sunday slate of games. Bills Dolphins. It's our first one on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a reason that's the first game on Sunday. I don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think the Bills, I think, can really they're gonna be able to do whatever they want to do against Miami. Miami is a team that seemed like they're another team throughout the year. They had these crazy ebbs and flows, right? 5-game winning streak, 5-game losing streak. Like they just went all over the place. And I don't know if Tua's gonna play. And honestly, at this point, because Tua's been through so much this season, I can see them saying, "Okay, we just gotta sit you down. We can't do it." I don't know the status of Teddy's injury with his hand,
Mhm.
so you could be out there with Skylar Thompson, who, God bless him. That's what people in
Yeah.
the South when they don't want to say something mean, they say
What
bless his
they
heart.
say? Oh, bless. What's that supposed to mean? Just
Like
like,
when somebody says bless your heart,
yeah.
that just means that we don't want to say something mean in this circumstance, and we're just going to say bless your heart and hopefully you get through this circumstance. And when it comes to Skylar Thompson, you're like, bless his heart,
Yeah.
and hopefully he's able to get through this defense. But the Bills defense has been kind of shaky lately, but I don't think that Skylar Thompson is equipped to take advantage of that. So I think if there's any week for the Bills in the playoffs to try to get somewhat healthy on defense and get more of a rhythm on the defensive end, I think this is the week, and I see that offense exploding again. The emotion, I think DeMar Hamlin is going to be there,
Yeah.
so I
Oh,
think that's all going to lead into it. So I got Bills winning big.
all right. Let's see. What is the spread? 10.5. Over under is 45.
So I would go Bills. I would take Bills to win by more than 10.5,
Yeah.
and 45.5. I'm gonna go over 45
Yeah.
because
I'm
I
gonna
think they're
go
both going to
over.
score a lot of points.
I think Buffalo can score like 38 on their own. So yeah, I don't think they so bless your heart is like a nice way of not saying something nice.
Yeah, like if you, so like
Okay.
sometimes you'll like if a kid, you think a kid isn't that smart, bless his heart.
Okay.
You know,
All right. So
yeah.
I mean, so here we're probably just like you're stupid, but okay. All right. I got it.
That's true. Yes, East Coast people are just a lot more blunt. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we are. Okay, we're gonna save the Giants game for last because that's what we
okay.
do. Um how about this one? Ravens Bengals. I mean, how many times have we seen that? 4 times now? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
three
It seems
times,
like they
like
play each other every week. Yeah,
every week it feels like it. So it feels like because what the game should have been obviously had all gone to plan. That should have been, for the division last night, right?
yeah,
Yesterday's game. But instead, okay, we'll get a redo. And we don't know if Lamar Jackson's playing, correct? They still don't know
yeah,
if he's gonna play. Was Huntley was injured, but now he's back. I don't
yeah.
know the status of him either.
Yeah, I think they sat Huntley because they don't
Okay.
know about Lamar, and they were like, okay, so we gotta treat Huntley as if he's a starter. So we're gonna sit him, make sure he's good for the game. But if it's
Okay.
not Lamar Jackson, there's no chance. Like I don't see him having a chance if it's not Lamar Jackson out there. I hate to see that Lamar Jackson got hurt, especially in this year being a contract season for him. But it also shows his value. It shows that I've been saying this for years about Lamar Jackson. I've said it plenty of times on the Third and Three podcast. A lot of quarterbacks are the engine that makes the car go for the offense. Lamar Jackson's the entire car. He might let people in the car. They
Yeah.
might be able to sit down and ride, but he's the entire car.
Yes.
Without him, there's no offense.
Correct.
And you're seeing that now. So if Lamar Jackson does come back, I would still pick Cincinnati, even if Lamar Jackson comes back, but it's a way better game if Lamar Jackson comes back.
Yeah, I mean, we say this all the time about the Ravens. Like, when are they getting a true number one wide receiver? I mean, we
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. I just think Cincinnati is getting too hot at the right time. They have too much firepower. That Baltimore defense like holds up. I guess it's like that car, right? It was like my
Yeah.
very, very, very first car was a Ford Tempo, right? And I remember just like praying, like, because I commuted to college and stuff, and I remember praying that my car would start, right? And it's just like that's the Baltimore Ravens defense. It's like it'll get you there, and then you're almost home, and it just breaks down. Like they just give it up in the last like 30 seconds. So yeah, I would have to go Bengals on this one. Let's check the spread on this. Yeah, Cincinnati's favored by 6.5. Over under is 43.5.
I would go over. If it's Lamar Jackson, I'm going over. If it's not Lamar Jackson, I'm going under. And I like Bengals by 6.5 either way, honestly.
Okay, now what does this mean? Is this a Southern? saying
Looking
as
clean.
well that
Not
I
just
look
saying you.
clean.
Somebody just saying you look good. That's all.
Oh, okay. I don't know, because you could be like, she looks dirty, like she doesn't take a shower. I don't know. So,
No,
okay.
they give you. They'll say you're looking good. The hair is flowing. It
Oh,
seems
that
like you look
okay.
like you listened to my podcast before the show.
Yeah, see, that's what he did. I'm with you, Cole. They got to pay Lamar. They just have
Yeah.
to. I mean, but you keep seeing these like, oh, he wants to go to Miami. I was like, what athlete doesn't want to go to Miami though? Like, come on. I mean,
Yeah, Miami seems like a great city for athletes to go to.
yeah.
I hear it's not that great if you're just a civilian, but if you're like, it seems like a great city for athletes who make millions of dollars to go to for sure.
Yeah, if you're just like us regular people, I mean, it's great
Mhm.
to visit, but oh my gosh, yeah. Um, where are we now? Okay, I don't want to talk about this one either, but I guess we have to. It's Monday night's game,
Yeah.
8:15, Cowboys Bucks. I My God, I am not okay. If you don't watch Third and Three, you probably don't know that I have this card of celebrities that I'm getting a free hall pass on. Right? You know, when you're married
Yeah.
or you've been with somebody a long time, you get that free hall pass. So
Yeah.
Tom
Most
Brady's
people
my
have
number one.
5 people on their list.
Yes,
Nikki has like 30.
I got 30. I was at like 35. You know what? Law of averages, right? Because I feel like there's better chance of that happening. So Tom Brady's my number one. Anyway, I'm never going to root harder for him than I am when he's playing the Cowboys on Monday night. I just,
Yeah.
I can't. I can't have the Cowboys actually win this game and continue on.
It's interesting because neither team looks good
Right.
going into this game.
Right.
So it's really hard. The Cowboys should be the favorites, right? They should win this game. They've been a much better team all year.
They are
And
favored by three.
by 3.
Three.
And the thing is, so they're on the road favored by 3, which means that people believe that they are the better team. But the way Dak Prescott's been playing lately,
Yeah.
not being able to see the field, not being able to recognize coverages, throwing interceptions left and right. And I get that he's taking more chances. That's why the offense has been good, because he's able to take those chances, unlike Cooper Rush. But if you mess around and you keep giving Tom Brady opportunities, you're going to mess around and be at the end of the game, and now you're up by 3, and they have that final drive, and we all know Tom Brady in that circumstances, the best to ever do it, right? And it just scares me. It scares me because I've been on this train all year about how, if you win your division, but you still suck, like Tampa Bay won a division because NFC South sucks
Yeah.
as a whole, you shouldn't get an automatic home playoff game. And I still stand by that, right? There's no way an 8-9 Tampa Bay team should be hosting a team with double-digit wins. That shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And if the Tampa Bay goes out there and win this game, all I'm going to hear is, "Oh, what about your theory? What about
Yeah.
the teams?" Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. And I'm like, this doesn't prove that. It proves that they were able to win this one game. It's the consistency throughout the regular season that should get you a home playoff game, not the fact that you happen to land on top of the garbage at NFC South,
Yeah.
right? But I have a bad feeling about this game. I have a bad feeling about this game because Dallas just hasn't seemed right for a few weeks. You barely beat the Texans. You
Mhm.
go out there and lose to Washington with Sam Howell at quarterback to end the year. And the thing is, Dallas had a lot on the line. You mentioned how the Eagles were struggling with the Giants.
Yeah.
If the Eagles mess around and lose that game, the Cowboys win a division. They can get up to like 2 or 3 seed. I believe the 2 seed they would have got because San Francisco won.
Right.
So they would have got the 2 seed. And now you put yourself in a way better position, home playoff game. So they had something to play for. It wasn't like it was meaningless. And they went out there and laid a dud against a Washington team that had nothing to play for at
Nothing.
all.
Nothing.
So it really, gave me a cause to pause. I'm still gonna go with Dallas because Tampa Bay's offense has been so bad this year. So I'm gonna go with Dallas in a close game that makes everybody very nervous. I'm gonna go Dallas 20-17.
Yeah, I could see that. Over unders 45. I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like some way, somehow, and I don't know how, because the Bucks are not a good team.
they're not good. Yes.
They're not. But if anyone can do it, it is Tom Brady. If anyone can find whatever mojo is left, whatever magic is left, like he can do it. And that Dallas defense, Cold's right. They can absolutely be exposed. So
They
I,
can.
I'm I I think I might roll with the Bucks on this one. So
I
we
can't blame
will
you. I
see.
can't blame you because this game This game and the Jaguars and Chargers are probably the two games where you're just like, I have no idea
I
what's
have
going to
no
happen this
idea
game.
because
Yeah,
I don't know what Cowboy team is showing up. There are weeks
yeah.
where they look like they are on fire, and then you see like whoever showed up yesterday, and it's just they're very up and down. Like Mark called it, they are very Jekyll and Hyde. So I don't know. It's so hard to bet against Tom Brady in the postseason because there's not a thing that this man hasn't seen, right? He's seen it all. So yeah, we'll see. This one's definitely a tough one. Tuto is saying he's getting text requests for me to say hello to all of his friends. So hello, Tuto, and all your friends that are texting.
See, I
I'm
told you, a celebrity. Only celebrities get asked to say hello. Like
yeah.
that's you're a celebrity, Nikki.
Thank you. All right. We're trying. We're trying here. 1 week I got a request to shake my hair. So, you never know on here. All right, let's go.
That might be some weird fetish thing that somebody has. I don't know.
Well, I don't ask really. I don't ask. I can't. All right, let's get into it. It's the last one on the slate before we get out of here. Giants Vikings Sunday at 4:30. Giants are taking this one. I'm sorry. We were so close. We were so close. Had it not been for that damn 61-yard field goal. As you've said, Minnesota is fugazi, okay? We know Kirk Cousins can have a meltdown. Now, I'm not taking anything away from their offense and all the talent that they have on offense, but they can absolutely be forced into making mistakes. I think the Giants are rolling. I think they've got a ton of momentum. I think they're pissed from 2 weeks ago and they knew they should have had that game. And I did not want the 49ers. So like, thank God. I think the Vikings are definitely beatable. And if anyone thinks that it would be a shock for the Giants to beat the Vikings, then I don't know what you've been watching all year. So I'm going to roll with my boys, with Big Blue, and I think that they take this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said it a few weeks ago on Third and Three podcast. I said if they meet again in the playoffs,
Yeah.
I'm taking the Giants. I believe that the Vikings defense is very, very bad. It's a very bad defense, and I believe that Daniel Jones will be able to take advantage of it. Maybe we'll see that Kenny Galladay game that we've been waiting for the past 2 years. Maybe we'll see that. I think Barkley will have a good game. Like I see this being a very good game for the Giants. Now that offense for Minnesota is very potent, but like you said, it's close enough to nighttime to where Kirk Cousins might have a meltdown. And because I think in the second half it'll turn nighttime. I think that's where you're gonna see Kirk Cousins have that meltdown where he's like, "Oh my God, this is too much," and he's gonna throw that bad interception. I think it's gonna be a very good game. I have the Giants winning. I'm gonna go Giants 27. I'm gonna go 30-27 Giants.
All right. So Minnesota's favored by 3. Over unders 48.
48. I would take the over.
Yeah, I would take the over. Oh, see, look now. See, this is what they want. The hair shake. I don't understand like why they want the hair shake, but
it's like an iconic thing. When people have the blonde hair, people want to see it move and go through the wind and whatnot.
I don't know. I just should I get a fan in here? Like now it's looking crazy, but okay. Hopefully
that would be absolutely crazy to see the hair blowing in the wind as
the hair like blowing with a fan and everything. Hopefully that hair shake was okay. I don't know. We're gonna get this shampoo sponsor. Cold is on it. He's getting us a shampoo sponsor.
That would be hilarious if that became like the bit for you to shake your hair and it's like we're sponsored by Head and Shoulders.
Well, I mean, Craig's got a great head of hair on him, which everyone will see tomorrow on the Giants, guys. So Dee, thank you so much for jumping in and co-hosting with me tonight. This has been another episode of Rush Hour. We will be back Monday night, of course, at 7 o'clock. I don't know who's going to be on the show. That's part of the fun here. It could be one of you guys. Who knows? Dee, tell everybody where we can find you, what you're doing, and not just because I've worked with you for 3 years, but you truly, truly are one of the best in the business. And I have learned so much from you over the past 3 years. You push me every week to be better and better and better. And I think that the best part of our dynamic is you give me a hard time, which people do love.
Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. I truly, truly appreciate it. And you've definitely pushed me to be better as well. And you can find me on social media at The Real Deal WDA if you want to catch me doing video reactions to all different types of things: NFL, NBA, boxing, all sports things, even a little Love is Blind reaction. You might
Oh,
catch me doing as well. And then I'm definitely going to have Nikki on once she catches up on that to go ahead and just throw a splash of reality TV into The Real Deal with Damian Adams as well to do that, because I don't know if you guys know, she is the queen of reality TV as well. She's famous in two worlds. So you
yeah.
guys can get a bit of that as well. But my podcast is called The Real Deal with Damian Adams. You can catch it each and every week. I'll be dropping that one either tonight or tomorrow morning. I do the Third and Three podcast every Wednesday night along with Nikki, Jess, and Jason Fearman. That one's a very good podcast where we talk all football, but we'll get into Naj with Nikki, which we could be bringing back here very shortly. We do everything out, play a player. We have so many different little segments that we do on that show. It's very fun. It's a very fun podcast. So go ahead and join us on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube or on Facebook. And I do the GSMC boxing podcast as well for my boxing fans out there. My boxing takes. Some people say I'm the best at it. I don't say that. I let them say that. You can judge for yourself by checking out the podcast. And a lot of people are fans of Nikki. They want Nikki to shake her hair and they want
Yeah.
Nikki to do these things because they think Nikki looks good. The reason Nikki looks good is because you listen to my podcast.
Yeah.
Right? When you listen to my podcast, it keeps your cheeks centered. It reduces wrinkles. It keeps you looking young. And the reason that her hair is flowing and she looks this good is because she listens to The Real Deal with Damian Adams,
Sure.
the Third and Three podcast, and the GSMC Boxing podcast. So if you want to look good as Nikki, you want to impress Nikki, listen to my podcast and let her know how you feel about my podcast. All right, and she'll let me know. All right.
Yes, I will let you know all the feedback. JD, if you follow me on Twitter, I will follow you. If you did that already, I will get you after the show. What's up, Mike? Yes, Astroflave is our sponsor. I did shout them out in the beginning of the show, but of course, you can get this cool water bottle that I use on every show. Yes, thank you so much. You guys can find me, of course, Monday nights, 7 o'clock here on Rush Hour. Tuesday nights, Giants guys, make sure you tune in. Me, Craig, Spartan Mike, and a special guest Wednesday. If you liked this duo, check out Wednesday night, Third and Three podcast. That show is wild. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you jumping in, hanging out with us. Go Giants. They are going to kick the Vikings' ass. It's been real, everyone. See you next week. Bye.